presentation, Risk Analysis of Governance in Community Development Projects, Mr. D.S.P. Chandika Karunasekara, Department of Commerce and Financial Management, Faculty of Commerce and Management Studies, University of Kelaniya. Right, Mr. Chandrasekhara, you can take maximum 15 minutes, otherwise we all going to lose the tea. Right, you can say what I think all of us, right? Thank you very much, and start your work quickly.
Good afternoon to you all. So my presentation is on risk analysis of governance in community development projects. So the objective of the community development project is to establish an effective and sustainable instrument to improve the living conditions and economic status of underprivileged communities. It could be noted that the secondary development and livelihood project, which was taken into account in this study, was managed by decentralized systems, as these projects were supervised at the village level by the village organizations consisting of few village representatives. Then, as found evidence from literature, it could be noted that active participation of stakeholders of these projects are essential to address the burning issues of these communities. Therefore, stakeholders should be empowered through good governance, establishing decentralized institutions at the village level, increasing the engagement level of the village in these projects. So we all know that the concept of governance is as old as human civilization. So governance simply means the process of decision making and the process by which decisions are implemented or else not implemented. Governance can be used in several contexts: international governance, national governance, corporate governance, or else local governance. So from the point of view of good governance, devolution has many functions, such as being mode of administration and advocates bottom-up planning, which captures, internalizes, and addresses local needs and concerns. As such, it promotes responsiveness and accountability of policymakers to local needs and people. So when we are talking about governance and accountability mechanisms that were implemented in these projects from the lessons learned from the previous community development projects in order to achieve the objectives of second community development and livelihood project. According to the annual report issued in 2011 by Ministry of Economic Development, a specific assessment of governance identified these 5 risk areas. They are institutional, finance, procurement, communication and grievance. So even though governance and accountability mechanism these are the 5 risk areas. So even though governance and accountability mechanism had been already established, there was no reported evidence in literature on these 5 risk areas. So one of the major problems in community development programs is that there are many assessment, feasibility studies and planning in community development projects, but especially in Sri Lanka, at the time of implementing, there is no specific evaluation process adapted to find the validity of these projects. So in this research, we have found out, though there are 5 risk areas, only 2 have been achieved expected level. Rest of the 3 have not. So in this research, I have tried to find out what are the reasons behind that. So when you are talking about methodology, there were 500 employees in these projects, but 150 employees were taken into account in this study. So structured questionnaire was administered to collect data, and stratified random sampling method was used. Actually, I used stratified disproportionate random sampling method to collect data. So this is the conceptual framework. So this framework has been tested worldwide in many community development projects, and we have used in this project, in this study as well. So when we are calculating, this is the risk, this is the formula, risk is equal likelihood into consequence. We all know that all the elements in this formula are qualitative. Therefore, we assign values according to the Project Appraisal Report 2009. So success level of governance and employee category. This is the expected level of the donor of this project. That is 77, but institutional risk has not been achieved the expected level. But finance and procurement risk have been achieved the expected level, but not rest of the 2 as well. They are communication and grievance. So in this employees category, 1 to 4 means top level managers, and 5 to 9 middle level. Rest of them belongs to lower level managers. So you can see now the only finance and procurement risk areas have achieved the expected level, but not the rest of the risk areas. Then data analysis. So as the research, as this study is used structured questionnaire, we found out the validity of the questionnaire. So therefore value of the Cronbach alpha was 0.87. Therefore the validity of the questionnaire was very much fitting to this study as well. And the regression method was Pearson bivariate coefficient correlation method was used because it measures the strength and direction of linear relationship between the between pairs of continuous variables. So here, institutional risk is positively correlated with financial risk and procurement risk. This means malfunctions in projects management effect to weaken financial strength and to have irregularities in procurement and asset management of the project. Then financial risk and procurement risks are highly positively correlated with 0.97 at 0.01 significant level. So this means financial management strongly affect to have irregularities in procurement and asset management, but grievance risk and institutional risk are the most weakly correlated risk, as ineffective complaint handling and grievance redress mechanism do not lead to have malfunctions in project management level and vice versa. Then relationship between total risk and individual risk areas. So financial risk and procurement risks are not significant at 5% level. So however, financial risk increases by 1 unit, keeping the other factors constant, the total risk will decrease 4.049 on average. But 1 unit in procurement is increased, keeping the other factors constant, the total risk will increase by 10.215. So that means even though financial risk and procurement risks are positively correlated, they have opposite relationships with the total risk, because financial risk decreasing, the procurement risk increasing. So as the goodness of fit of the model is as high as adjusted R square 0.68. So this is the conclusion. So the study found that the members of the staff of the projects were not caliber enough to do their duties and responsibilities. They are full of stress, poor quality of staff training, supervision, and because political interference are very much there, so because of that most of the newly recruited employees are not caliber enough to execute their duties, and they do not have a proper mechanism to communicate with other village organizations. So therefore we recommend there should be external project appraisal team which should be very fair enough to all the people, and rigorous staff training is very much essential, and rewards for staff performance, because some are working very hard, others are not working that much. But even though however they work, they are paid the same amount. So they indirectly criticize that mechanism. So we recommend to have reward for staff performance. The other things, most of the recruiters are from supporters of politicians. When they are interviewing, the questions are not relevant. So then communication risk issues, they do not have a proper mechanism to communicate each other. Therefore we recommend to have operation manual to guide staff. Then everybody knows what is happening in the other branch or village organizations as well. And the website should be updated. Their website has not been updated for years, so it should be updated frequently. Then grievance risk issues. Most of the people are full of stress. It is necessary to have a proper system to handle those grievances or listen to those pleadings. That's all about my presentations, and thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chandika Karunasekara. It's a very interesting presentation about the risk analysis of governance in community development projects. What he has mentioned as a summary wise, there is a risk, especially the companies or organizations who are involving with the community projects, there is a risk. That's what he is going to say. Because most of the NGO works or maybe some other works, some companies have a lot of CSR projects today. They really go to the villages, really go to the community and do kind of a work. How much those are governance, how much those are effective, how much stress are coming to the micro level company, such a things he has analyzed very well. Is there any questions? If you have, you can raise right now. Yes, sir. Thank you very much. Can you give a very small summarized form of the answer?
Thank you very much. Actually, this study only focused on the secondary development and livelihood project, which is a government one. And the second question is why finance and procurement risks have achieved the expected level. Actually, according to the annual report in 2011 issued by Ministry of Economic Development, they say those two have achieved the expected level, but not the rest of the risk areas. That's why I have analyzed only, try to find out why other risk areas have not achieved. Add to something more, so when I was there, when there was an interview going on, actually some funny questions was raised by the interviewer to interviewees. They asked there was an English graduate. One of the interviewers asked whether he can read English. So such type of things such type of questions cannot be expected. So we can understand the knowledge of the interviewers then. So, but unfortunately that boy was not selected, but only the person who has just passed advanced level has got to that position, which is very much relevant to the coordination position. That means that the person should be deal with the other people, other village organizations. Then once again, then what will happen, then he will not be able to communicate with the other village organizations, since again the language problem will arise. So such type of things are happening in government projects.
Thank you, Mr. Karunasekara. What I feel, training and development is really necessary. We have to train people rather than chasing them out or rather than criticizing. The government involvement is very, very essential to develop the community projects. That's what I think finally you can come up with us. Thank you very much. We all thanks to the Kottaravala Defense University who have organized such a nice presentation. This is a kind of a knowledge, know-how development. I think we are really thankful to you who invited to us as well as the organizers. Thank you very much, and all the best to all of you. Thank you.